Hey guys, this is Brian aka Dr. Denim, and today I'm bringing you a what sold video showing you the top 10 sales I've had this past week on eBay. I am now keep in mind that I do a volume game. I list about 40 items per day and I sell between 20 to 30 items per day. So these are going to be the top 10 of the week. And I'm making this video to help you know some items that are selling for me. So when you're outsourcing, you may see these and at least you'll have an idea of what they're selling for me. So make sure you stick around to the end because I do have a sale for over $300 and most of the items that I sell are clothing and shoes. So let's go ahead and get straight into it. All right, at number 10, we have a pair of Dunbar Cowboy boots, men's size 9.5D right here. Cowboy boots are, I'm in Texas, and so I do find these quite a bit. And cowboy boots are always something I'm looking to pick up if I can get them at the right price. These sold for 51 and change plus shipping. So cowboy boots are always something to be on the lookout for if you can find them at a good price. I've got an offer. We'll let that one sit for now. At number 9 in the top 10 list of items that sold for me for the past week, we have Brooks Addiction. Pair of running shoes. These are women's size 10.5 EE, which is extra wide. Anytime you can find, well, first of all, anytime I find Brooks, that's going to be a pickup once again, assuming I can get it at the right condition and also assuming that the shoes are in good condition. You know, the first thing I check is here, let's get it over here. You want to check the tread, which is right here. And as you can see, I didn't clean these. A lot of people will spend the time cleaning. Maybe I'd make a little bit more if I cleaned them, but I'm trying to get listings up. But besides the dirt, which you're going to get once you use these anyway, and I don't think a lot of people, you know, for the running shoes are worried about that. But you can see the tread or the nubs is in really good condition. This shoe has a lot of life on it. And on the tag, even though it's worn out a little bit, you can see this 2E, that extra wide. That is always a good sign. And when you're looking at shoes, here's a little tidbit, a free tip, that if you're not sure between the men's and the women's, usually the difference between the men's US size and the UK size is only 1 or less. So like on a men's 10.5 US, it'd probably be like a 9.5. So if you have a difference or 2 or more, that's probably a women's shoe. Or matter of fact, I know it is a women's shoe, and there's also conversion chart guides that you can look at to be sure. But anyway, these sold for 51 and change. So Brooks is, in running shoes in general, are a good item to look for. By the way, if you're finding this content useful, please hit the thumbs up, give me a like, and consider subscribing to the channel. We bring you a lot of reselling content throughout the week. All right, moving on up. Number 7 in the top 10 items that sold for me this week, we have Buckle BKE. These are Tyler jeans, men's 36 by 30, bootleg, light wash. BKE or Buckle is a brand I'm always on the lookout for, men's or women's. Men's will sell for a little bit more, but they both sell well for me. And you can see I take lots of different pictures. There's more pictures there, but BKE is a bread and butter item for me that sells for a little bit more than some of the other bread and butter. Oh man, I need a sip of coffee. All right. Next up, 1098, number 7, we have a pair of boots. These are Santana Canada boots, women's size 6.5. They are made out of black leather, and they have this fleece lining, which this fleece lining, you can actually roll it all the way up where you have nothing but the leather, or you could roll it down for this look. Obviously, we are in November, so winter items are starting to move right now, and Santana boots made in Canada, good brand to be on the lookout for. All right. 10987, number 6 in the top 10 list of items that sold for me. Now this is a pair of Levi's 501, and this is a big size. And actually, I didn't write this title very well. This is an older listing. This is size 58 by 30. I remember when I found these at the thrift. And by the way, these are items, when I'm sourcing, I'm finding these at garage sales, thrift stores, estate sales, flea markets, auctions, you name it. But anyway, I remember I found these at a thrift store. I think it was a 50% off day. They're new with tags. They had 4 pair. I picked up all 4 pair. Most people would be like, no, that size is too big. But guess what? There are people with that size, and they need to find their jeans too. So I'm never be scared of big size jeans. These sold for 41 bucks and change. And I don't remember exactly what I paid for these, but I'm always picking them up at a price to make where it's very profitable. All right, I think we're about halfway through. Moving on to, I think we're at, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, number 5. Number 5, we have another pair of cowboy boots. These are a pair of Tony Lama cowboy boots, size 10.5D. D on the men's shoes is going to be a medium width. They're leather, gray, pull on. Notice the word botas. That's a good keyword. Botas means boots in Spanish. That's a little advanced pro tip for you. And then I also include the style number on the inside of these, which is 6639, which you can see right there, 6639. These boots were in good condition. I remember I picked these up at a garage sale for a couple of bucks. So, you know, yeah, personally, I love garage sales. Lots of driving, but you can find some great deals at garage sales. Next up in the top 10 items that sold for me in the week of November 14th, we got another pair of shoes. Here we have a pair of Nike Lunar finger tap running shoes. These are men's size 11.5, 10.5. See, that's an example. Let me pull that picture up. Between the men's and the women's, like, see this on the US, it's 11.5. On the UK, it's 10.5. So this is going to be, in the Europe, it's 45.5. This is a pair of men's shoes. In this W right here, this can be confusing because different brands, this W sometimes can mean women's, or it can mean wide. In this case, this is actually standing for wide width. And these sold for 53 bucks and change. Pair of running shoes. I don't remember where I picked these up. Like I said, I listed all the places I sourced for, and it was one of those places. All right. Next up in the top 10 list of the best items that have sold for me this past week. Making this video to help you know some items that you may want to consider sourcing, and you can probably see some trends. Now, before I get to the top 3, the biggest 3, these are going up in value. One thing to consider, you're seeing the cream of the crop for me, but most of my items are selling for between $10 to $25 plus shipping, and I'm sourcing these typically for $4 or less, and I'm doing the volume game where I want to list daily. I want to list a lot of items daily, which that helps with the eBay algorithm. And if you do that consistently, then you will get those consistent sales. So these aren't the typical items I'm selling every day. These are the best. Just want to make that clear. All right. Number 3, the third best item that sold for me this week, we have a Nike Tech Fleece hoodie. Men's size, what was this? Men's size small. Gray in color, kind of like this thermal. This would be good for running outdoors and keep you nice and warm. It's got the hoodie. It's got this thermal fabric, size small. And there's the Nike 9-digit style code, by the way, which here's another tip if you don't know. This 9-digit, and this one's 805144-010. You can look this up, and it will give you all the information about the product you have. This one, I believe I picked up at a garage sale. I want to say maybe I spent $3 and it sold pretty quick. So that's a great flip. Tip about garage sales: most people are just trying to get rid of things, because we live in a culture, a society where it's very commercialized and people buy a lot of stuff and they need to make room to get rid of it. All right, top two, down to the top two. All right, here's my second best sell of the week. This sold for $149 plus almost 20 shipping. This is dope. Literally, brand name and figuratively, was a dope sell. This is a snow jacket, men's large. It's water repellent. Notice that the keywords in the title: snowboard, ski, got the color red, even though it's probably more of a maroon. Compact padding. This I picked up at a thrift store. I remember picking this one up, new with tags, perfect condition. I couldn't believe people were walking by this thing. And ooh, that one's upside down. Gotta do a little better job on that. And I looked up comps, and these in new condition were selling between 1 to 200. I listed it at right at 150, and that's what it sold for, and I was happy with that. So ski wear, ski pants, ski jackets, especially this time of year, are good sellers. And I'm always on the lookout for them, actually year round. All right. Before we get to the number one, the best sell of the week, once again, if you're finding this content useful, please go ahead and give me a like, a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more content. Also, we have a podcast. It's called the Reseller Roundtable, where we talk reselling, and that's produced weekly on Thursdays. We also stream it live on YouTube. Sometimes it's on my channel. Also in the group, we have Kevin, aka the Thrifting Lounge, Scott, aka Dumpster Diver Dad, and Alton, aka Addicted to Hustle. And we produce a podcast, and the podcast is Reseller Roundtable. You can find it on Spotify or other places where podcasts are found. So if you want to listen to some content, some reseller talk, get some different perspectives, because we all have a little different perspective on reselling, but we all have the same goal: to be successful resellers. All right, with no further ado, let's get to the number one sell of the week. Here we have a leather jacket. This is a vintage leather jacket. The brand is A1, which is not a brand that, I don't think it's like a brand that sticks out to me. There were a couple things that caught my attention. Thin Select, giving you thermal protection. Anytime I find that in shoes or clothing, that's a good sign. This is a big, heavy leather jacket. It's got fringes on it. It's got this pattern. I think those it's kind of like a Native American motif. You can see the texture in the leather. And this is a very heavy jacket, which is, and I didn't charge much for shipping on this. I'm going to lose money on shipping on this one, or I lost money. I think I already shipped this one out. But overall, sold for $351. I think I took a best offer, so probably went a little bit lower than that. So $300 ballpark range. Oh, and by the way, look at you have the eagle on the back. So you have lots of things working for you. You've got a big brown leather jacket. You've got these eyelets here. You've got the fringe. You've got the Native American motif. So you're hitting a lot of positives. You're hitting the biker scene. You're hitting the Native American scene. It's just a very unique piece. I think I maybe paid $20 for this. And now I did have this for a long time. I think I got this last year. And I do have a couple of people that source for me. I believe this came from Greg, one of my good sourcers. And I think I paid him $20 for this. It did take about a year to sell, but it did sell, and it sold for good money. So that's what I have today for you guys. These were the top 10 items that sold for me for the week of November 14th. Like it, subscribe, check out the podcast, And if you'd like to share your best sell of the week, go ahead and leave that in the comments below. If any questions you have, drop in the comments below. And until next time, guys, we'll see you.